it's not a problem.
Yep.
So how are things going for the tour?
Excellent. So we are very satisfied, let's say. Okay, it's quite demanding with 2 bands, but we did that before.
Yeah.
And we are very happy to be back in the UK. Cannot say that more often. Yeah, because, I know Leaf Size different story, but Atrocity was not so much on the page here in the UK.
No.
It's sadly, because I know a lot of bands from here, from the past. We started together, like Carcass, Paradise Lost, Napalm Death, for our friends from Benediction, all those bands. And it was always quite difficult, although we toured here, to establish Atrocity more than we would love to.
Well, I think you've mentioned there quite a few major names, let's be brutally honest. And for whatever reason, they've probably took more of the press away from Atrocity, I think.
Could be, but in Germany is another story. There's a big market.
That's what that's what I was going to say next, is because coming from Germany and knowing the German music scene as it is, the bands that get noticed over there and not necessarily the bands that get noticed over here. Last year there were a few bands that I went to see, and like one of them in particular was Audrey Horn, Norwegian band signed to Napalm, came across.
Yeah.
There was about 50 people in the audience, but then they go Germany, Austria, major festivals and sold out shows. And I sometimes try and work out why we all like the same sorts of music.
Yeah.
How come is it there's a certain calibre of bands that get noticed, like Atrocity, in Germany, but then when you come over here, it seems strange because Atrocity, like tonight, 7:30 on stage.
Yeah.
It seems very strange.
Yeah, that's a thing we actually have not a big problem with playing times or whatever. But
as long as you play and get...
Yeah, but it's like everybody is there, But
yeah.
The other side is, we've been touring now through 40 countries or something like that. The band is going on many years. And when we play here, the fans actually, they're always super thankful and supportive as well. So it was back then when we toured with D-Side or when we toured with Obituary in the 90s, it was also like that. We came back, headlining was actually cool with the Atlantis album. I remember we did some good shows. Leaf's Eyes was actually playing before Atrocity. So
it's that turned on its head at the moment.
Yeah, but that's no problem. And I mean, it's like the same for me.
Well, exactly. Now, obviously, with Atrocity at the moment being first on the bill tonight, you were saying, and Leaf's Eyes being up there.
But it's good to have a rest in between.
Well, what I was going to say is obviously I've talked to Liv about Leaf's Eyes, and we discussed about the beautifully tragic concepts of the, especially when you look at the recent music video in particular. So we talked about that. Now, for Atrocity, how does it differ for you? Because
there's a really strict line in between the bands. I mean, there was never ever a discussion when we were writing songs. This is now Leaf's Eyes or Atrocity song. No, that was very clear from the beginning.
Right.
So, and it is also on stage. It's I don't say that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, but in a way you could compare.
It's the split personality.
Yeah, or let's say the split of artistic view, I would say.
Right.
Atrocity also did a lot of diverse things, and that's maybe one of the reasons. For example, if you don't have that 100% in mind or on the page, then you probably don't understand Atrocity. So if you watch the DVD, the Gottlosen Jahre, or the Godless Years as it's called as well, there you find actually the philosophy of the band.
Right.
And it's described by 80 interviewers, not only us, it's people talking about the band, and then you get an idea, that's what the band is about. Yeah. It's not like any death metal band, or I don't want to say about anything against anyone, but it's different with that band, where you could say, brutal death metal, splatter lyrics, and done.
Yeah.
No, it's not the case with that band.
I always look at it, this is why I try and do things differently with my interviews. I try and listen and get to know the people before the music. Yeah. Because I want to make the judgment of the band on the concept of what the band is about. Yeah. Now, if I get to know the music in and out, when I come to the point of listening to the music, I've got the concept, I know what you're about, I know where you're coming from, and I think then you get a better understanding. Whereas if I don't, and I listen to the music first, you might, again, the press have a notion of pigeonholing people.
Yeah, but it's also massive amount of bands nowadays. It was also back then when we started it.
Yeah.
We had like a lot of bands, but nowadays it's like maybe also the problem for guys in the media that they are overflooded and they maybe not 100% aware of things anymore. They're always looking for the next big thing or big scandal also.
Yeah, well, this is it.
Or whatever, things like that.
Yeah, I find that we get too much material to go through, and it's trying to find out the material that you want to listen to, which is a problem. Now, for people that may not have heard of Atrocity, would you be able to pick out one track that people might go to YouTube that would epitomise what the concept of Atrocity is about?
Sorry, that's not possible. But for the Occult album, I would suggest the Pandemonium song.
Right.
That's a very good mix. But for the band itself, we did too much variety to describe it in one song. If you have the Atrocity featuring Yasmin, for example, it's acoustic songs with a female voice. Then you have electronic, industrial, dark wave mixture with Das Ich. We were actually the first band mixing or playing together as an extreme band with a gothic band. Yeah. So that was not done before that in time. And then on the other side you have Hallucinations was the first techno death metal album ever. So it's very hard to describe.
It's very, it's like I say, it's just something that...
Or Work 80. You know, they play it all over the club still. And it's like, you know, pop wave classics from the 80s turned into metal songs, or Atrocity style turned into the Atrocity style. So that's really hard to describe, actually. You have to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of these because I think we want to showcase new bands and different music that people may not have been aware of.
Yes.
And again, Atrocity is that prime example of where you've been around and got the critical acclaim everywhere else. But back home in the UK.
It's too less.
Yeah.
I agree with that because UK, England is the home country of metal, and it's a little pity that if a metal band is so different, I think people from here should be aware of it.
Well, like I say, hopefully by the time I've written up this interview, got it up there, got some pictures for tonight, hopefully we can try and bring some more people awareness of, well, no matter how busy you are, never mind more than anything, and bring the Atrocity name back out in the fold where it should be.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I mean, we if we go to Russia or wherever, like Taiwan, we toured, or Thailand and China, fantastic. The people rating, or Romania, Bulgaria, you know, all those countries. There's a name, you know. Atrocity, fantastic.
Exactly.
Come back, and
we just need to bring it back to the place where metal was born, don't we?
Exactly.
Right,
Up to you guys.
Well, thank you very much for that. It's been a pleasure.